Hey there, guys. Alex here from SPP, and today I'm joined by my colleague Dayan,
Hi everyone.
as well as Vitor from MobiLoud for this case study.
Hey there.
All right, Vitor. Before we get into things, I just would like it if you can introduce yourself, tell us what you do real quick, and just give us a quick summary.
Good. I'm a product manager at MobiLoud, right? We've been converting websites into mobile apps for a while, and I've been in the company for quite a few years now. Basically working in all different areas of the company as well, from support to projects, handling projects, managing developers, and of course managing the product. So yeah, it's been a long road.
So you said you're a product manager with MobiLoud. However, I know that you've been with them for more than 8 years now, starting with customer support. So what's been the most significant transformation in your in how you deliver your website to app services during this entire time?
The most significant transformation, honestly, has been at some point we were selling two different products, right? We decided to focus on one of those products, and from there, things started to change a bit more drastically, I'd say, right? Because, of course, because we started, putting more effort, focusing more in one of our products. And I think with that, we also changed the way we were working and delivering our solutions, right, to our customers. One of the things that changed at that point was moving everything to SPP, actually, right? We had a few different tools that we were using at the same time for onboarding, for support, for contacting customers. And the moment we decided to move everything to SPP, that was one of the big changes that happened, right? We were then able to not only deliver our solutions through SPP, right? So we would get all the onboarding information from customers through SPP, but also we started providing support through SPP. So the time that it took for us to find information about the customers, to find the details we needed, like it got reduced drastically at that point, right? Which helped us with delivering the solutions smoothly, faster. It was a huge difference from that moment.
Awesome. Can you tell me what were the different apps that you used before moving to SPP? Because I'm just curious, and other people would like to know like what you were using.
Definitely, definitely. So we actually were using Intercom at that time, right? As well as Trello, and I think even WordPress. So we used to use WordPress with Gravity Forms to have the onboarding for the customers. So it was not like it was a bit clunky at that time, right? And then we had the customer information in Intercom and in Stripe as well. So everything very scattered across different tools. Yeah, that was it.
Was it back then? It was intercom, but like email based or chat based or both?
We tried a few different setups with Intercom, right? I think we initially started with the chat, and then we figured, okay, that doesn't work, right? Because people or customers, they have the impression that they will get a response immediately, and we're just like a small team, right? So we moved to emails, but even then, with the emails, with all the information, like a customer would reach out to us, we would have to go into Stripe, into Trello to find the information about orders, about the information they provided during the onboarding. So yeah, it was a bit confusing, a bit of a mess.
Yeah, that makes sense. For the next question, maybe you can introduce a little bit what MobiLoud does and tell us how you're like positioning yourself in between like the custom app development and more like do-it-yourself builders.
Yeah, so we convert websites into mobile apps, right? In a more technical level of this, we use web views to display the website content inside a mobile app, a native mobile app, and we add a few layers of native functionality on top of that, right? So you get push notifications, native navigation, native settings, but the core of your app is still your website, which basically allows you to maintain one single platform, right? Which is your website. And all the changes, all the new features you introduce to your website, they also reflect in the app. No extra work needed, right? So um, basically, it makes it easier for you to have an app and maintain the app, right? we try to have a more like service, put more emphasis into the service aspect of this, right? Because your website is there, right? You already have a team of developers working on the website. You're already delivering the features, maintaining the website. So we try to make everything as smooth as possible in the conversion process, and we help you with all the extra steps or extra challenges you would have in the path, right? Like getting your app submitted to the App Store, to the Play Store, even registering for the Apple developer account and Google developer account, right? They have some requirements that not everyone is familiar with. So we try to help you as much as possible with all the steps in the process until like from the moment we convert your app until getting the app live and launching the app, right? There's also a marketing element to the app, which we're now providing more support on that front as well, right? So after your app is live, we help you with promoting the app, like on your website, to your customers, increasing the number of downloads on your app, and also the tracking of that, right? So, yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm actually wondering how you're helping the customers to like promote the app. Is it like social proof, adding badges for app stores, or what does it look like?
Yeah, all of that. I think we have a few different types of customers, right? Mostly e-commerce customers, but even then, I think each one of those they have different ways to promote the apps, right? We try to understand what is feasible, what's not, and then from there we decide the best plan to promote the apps, right? But yes, what you said is part of what we do, right? We help them with adding the badges to the website, preparing a first set of push notifications, creating contests on the website, adding QR codes, right? On the physical stores, even so, yeah.
All right, sounds good. Well, Vitor, as you said, your company transforms websites into mobile apps without rebuilding from scratch. So, how did you develop and refine this process to make it as scalable as you needed it to be while you grew?
I think the biggest challenge we encountered was like handling a few different types of websites, right? So we were at some point a catch-all solution to all types of websites, including like news, social communities, social networks, um, e-commerce as well, memberships, things like that. So at some point we decided to really focus on e-commerce, and I think that changed a bit the way we work and how we manage our platform. Um, it's a challenge because depending on the type of website you have, you will need to make adjustments to the website. You will need to make changes to how things work, right? Because we're pulling all the content from the website. There's an element of making sure the app is compliant with like Apple and Google guidelines for apps, right? So, and we always try to assist as much as possible with that part as well. But yeah, we figured that if we would focus on a single type of website, that would make more sense and make we're basically specialists now on getting like e-commerce apps, right? Converting e-commerce websites into mobile apps and getting those delivered, approved, and maintaining those after the release of the apps. So yeah.
Following up on that, I'm wondering like what led to the decision to actually focus on e-commerce? Like what kind of data were you looking at?
Yeah, so I think we learned that e-commerce was the perfect use case for a platform like ours, right? Because if you're building a native mobile app from scratch for an e-commerce website, there's a lot you need to take in consideration, like from integrating payment methods, from uploading and preparing products for the mobile app, the native mobile app, right? And with that, with our approach, that's all handled from the start, right? Of course, we have a few things that we already built to make sure the payment methods will work in the mobile app, so the customer doesn't have to worry about any of these. And when it comes to like getting the apps up and running with Apple and Google, uh, there's rarely a situation where they will reject the app or have any problems with the apps, right? Just because you're selling physical products for the most part, and that's okay with Apple and Google. So yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds like you found a really good niche. Um, yeah. So To my next questions, with a few clients that are ranging from fashion brands like Jack and Jones to like John Varvatos, how do you balance the standardization that you have, or if you have to customize something in your service delivery?
Yeah, so I think that's the service part that we're trying to offer more and more, right? So we get into calls with the customer to understand what the needs are. We try to be as upfront as possible in terms of you're going to get something that really looks like your website, and we want to understand if they want anything to look or work differently, right? If that's the case, then of course we put a service. Uh, we offer a service to help them achieve what they want, right? Most of the times it requires changes on the website, and we work as consultants with development teams, marketing teams to make sure they can achieve what they want and what they need. So yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you for the answer. Well, moving on to how you're managing your workflow, I noticed that you use a structured onboarding page as a default landing for your clients on SPP. How has this approach transformed your client experience, and what elements have proven most effective for them?
Yes. So that was a game changer, honestly, right? Because now we have all the customer information in one place, along like with order information, with support information. Um, what we did there, like, it took us some time to get to a point where the onboarding form was working the way we wanted, but mostly because we were still discovering the possibilities with SPP, right? The moment we started using like the custom CSS, custom JavaScript widgets, I'd say, in the onboarding form, we figured, okay, yeah, this is perfect. We can add all the logic. We can do everything we want with this form, right? And make sure the customer is providing the information exactly as we need. Mainly because, again, Apple and Google, they have some very specific requirements when it comes to the information you're providing, right? For the app description, for the keywords, for the promotional text. So being able to customize that onboarding form with all the field types we needed, but also with all the logic we needed, was a game changer in the business. And yeah, we're very happy with the way that is working right now. We're constantly trying to make it look better, right? But the functionality is always there. So yeah.
Yeah, speaking of the functionality, I was wondering how you're using some of SPP's integrations, for example, webhooks, if you're using Zapier or integrate with other tools.
Yes, yes, that's another very important point for us, right? So we integrated with Zapier. We started using the webhooks to try and make the onboarding experience as smooth as possible for our customers. Again, what we offer is not only a DIY platform, right? So it has a lot of service involved and a lot of steps, right? So the customer still needs to register for the developer accounts. He still needs to provide all the text that goes into the App Store or the Play Store. So we started using the webhooks to trigger automated emails to customers, right? Notifying them about like, here's the next step, then what's to come next. Even following up with customers, right? I think with Zapier, you get that functionality as well. Like you can add delayed messages to customers. So that's how we've been using it, right? Mostly to create email sequences to notify the customer, not only on the onboarding, but throughout the entire process.
Sounds good. So it's basically like a drip campaign. I'm wondering, is it like through a different marketing email platform, or are you just posting a message inside the order thread?
No, so we're actually sending emails, right? We're not using the tickets. We're sending emails. And we try to make them look as personal as possible, right? So they go out from Gmail accounts, like as ourselves.
Sounds pretty cool. So, like you have G Suite accounts, but then it's like your personal account that just sends them a message so it looks personal.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Interesting approach. All right. Um, well, speaking of your workflow and how you're doing things, your team appears to have a sophisticated project workflow with custom statuses and stuff like that. Could you walk us through your typical project journey from the initial order to the successful app launch with your clients?
Yes, but there are quite a few steps in that process. So I'd say that right after the first initial invoice is paid, we kickstart the onboarding call, right? So that's where we get all the information we need from the customer. We try to understand the requirements, the goals, everything that they want to do with the app, and we also try to bring up like any possible limitations or anything that will require extra customization. We share some details about the process with getting the apps approved in the App Store and the Play Store, right? Because we need to submit the apps for review with Apple and Google. They take a few days to approve the app. Sometimes they get back to us with adjustments or questions. So all of that is handled in that onboarding call. Uh, we also discuss the requirements, right, from Apple and Google. So for you to register for an Apple developer account and a Google developer account, you need to get a DUNS number. Sometimes that process can take a few days. So all those aspects are discussed in the onboarding call. From there, we tell the customer to take a moment, review the app form, and then fill in all the information. Sorry, we call it the app form, but it's the onboarding form in SPP. And that's basically the next step for the customer, right? So he then needs to take the time to register for all the accounts and fill the form so we can have all the information we need to get started with the process, right? With the development process. Um, the moment we receive the form from the customer is when we start working on a first version of the app, right? So we prepare all the graphics for the app. We review all the information provided by the customer, all the accounts that he shares access to, and then we finally start building a first version of the app. So we prepare the configuration, we build a first version of the app, and we start running the tests. Once we complete the tests, that's when we share the app with the customer. From there, we immediately start the submission to the stores, right? So one of the things we always try to do is to get the app approved as soon as possible. So we start the submission to the stores. We don't release the app once the apps are approved by Apple and Google. We keep them in manual release mode, right? So we can release only once we have confirmation from our customer. And as we work on this process, the customer can then share his feedback, ask for changes and adjustments. And the moment the apps are approved, we jump into those changes and adjustments. Once the customer is happy, that's when we release the apps. And from there, we have a call with the marketing team to start discussing the promotion of the apps, how we're going to promote the apps, and the work that will be required to implement the badges, implement the contests, the push notification sequences, everything we prepare in terms of marketing.
Sounds like it's a very long journey. So I'm wondering, like, what is like the average journey? Like, give me like a rough estimate. Like, how long does it take from like the first call to final launch?
So I'd say it takes about a month, right? It takes 2 weeks until you have like a first version of the app in hands. That's usually the estimate we provide, and then a month until the apps are live and running. If we don't run into any big changes or any adjustments, right? Yeah, that's it.
Speaking of changes, you mentioned that one of your key selling points is that apps update automatically when your clients update their website as well. So what kind of technical challenges did you overcome to make this very seamless?
So honestly, I think that's the smoothest part of having an app that is based on your website, right? Because really nothing, no changes, no adjustments, no updates are required. When you deploy the changes to your website, they immediately reflect in the app, right? So whatever you're deploying to your website, a new feature, new content, everything goes into the app automatically, right? You really don't have to worry about anything. Um, yeah.
Sounds good. What if they want to build something like that is very new? Like, I don't know, they want to integrate some live chat, but that wasn't there before. So is this something like a breaking change?
Yes, I mean, we we offer you a way to test everything, right? If you prefer to test everything that you're deploying, if it's a bigger change, like a brand new feature that is, involves more uh, JavaScript functionality, or then we always recommend you to run a few tests, and we have a way for you to perform those tests in a simulator to see if everything's going to work just fine. But yeah, usually, like for the most part, whenever you deploy a new, even a new feature like a live chat to the website, it works fine in the app. So yeah.
Love it. Well, I mean, your website also mentions that apps can increase customer lifetime value by around 7 times. So, what strategies have you implemented to help clients achieve these kinds of really good results?
Yeah. So I guess first thing is making sure we're tracking everything we can, right? So more and more, we've been trying to make sure analytics is properly configured, working very well, right? That we can look into the results, and of course compare them to what you get on the website, right? But then on top of that, we also help you with preparing a strategy for push notifications, right? For us, I think that's the most important aspect of it, right? Like making sure you're triggering the push notifications at the right moments, connecting the push notifications with specific actions on your website. Like we have cart abandonment notifications, for example, right? So we help you with setting up all those notifications, and also the sequences. So, you can engage users as much as possible to get them to come back to the app, to get them to notify them about new products or offers that you have, right? So
Sounds good. I was wondering, are there like any app specific features that are exclusive that are not on the website? Is this something like some customers wish to do?
yeah, I mean, when it comes to native functionality, we have a native navigation, we have a native settings page, we have the push notifications, of course. But then all the other elements really are coming from the website, right? We don't have like a specific native functionality at the moment. There are a few things coming up, but yeah.
Sounds good. Awesome. So for my last question, looking back at the MobiLoud growth journey, what advice would you give other service providers about scaling a specialized, very technical service such as yours while maintaining the quality?
So really, as I mentioned, right, I think one of the biggest changes was finding SPP and working with SPP as a partner on the way we work with our customers, right? Really, SPP enabled or allowed us to do something that saved us so much time and made us look way more professional than before, right? It really felt weird to have there was a disconnection in our onboarding, in the way we were onboarding customers, but also even after the onboarding, right? Like providing support and everything. And finding SPP was a big change for us because made us look more professional, enabled us to do things we were not able to do before, right? With all the information in one single place, and being able to use workflows, automated workflows, for example, right? So I think my suggestion is find a tool that works well for you, and that you can work with the company behind the tool to make things work in the smoothest way possible, right? I think that would be a good advice.
Sounds good. Yeah, and one more follow-up question on that, because I think you started at MobiLoud around 2017, right? So you've been with the company for a while. Was there like a point where you were like, okay, this is not working, everything is all over the place, and I'm just losing time looking for like customer data?
Yes, and we were using like the some of the biggest tools out there, right? Like you hear Intercom, like this is a great tool, so everyone should be using it. I think even like Trello, WordPress. So we thought, there's we're using something that is optimal because these are big tools and everything. But then at some point, there were so many problems in that workflow, in that process that we had, right? Like so many gaps, I'd say. And honestly, I don't remember exactly how we found SPP, but we were at that moment we were a bit skeptical about getting into SPP, like moving everything more because it's a lot of work to move from too many tools to centralize everything in one single tool. Um, but the moment we had everything set up, like it was very clear in the first week, like we made a really good choice here, right? Because now it's clear that all the information is going into the same place and yeah, everything's centralized. There's a lot of flexibility as well. So yeah,
All right, Vitor, thank you so much for hopping on with us today and answering all these questions. It was really invaluable to have you do this case study. So yeah, just want to thank you again.
Thank you so much, Vitor.
my pleasure, guys. Thank you.